Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. A lot of you were asking me how much we spent in the Philippines, so now I made a complete video about how much you actually need to travel this beautiful country. First of all, we traveled the Philippines for 3 weeks. It was from the end of October until the middle of November. This time of the year is the end of the wet season and the beginning of the dry season. For me, it was the best time to visit the Philippines. It was not overloaded with tourists, and I think we only got caught in rainstorm like 2 times. Both times we just had to wait like an hour, and we could continue on our travel day. We wrote down every single cost what we have spent in all the excursions, all the tuk-tuk rides, food, everything included. So we tried to save money everywhere. Most of the places were booked through Agoda and a couple of hours before arriving. Sometimes I booked in the morning, the other days I booked 1 day before just to make sure we're gonna have accommodation. Most of the hotels we booked, they were very basic. They had a king-sized bed, really old style bathroom, and they always include towels in the price. They had Wi-Fi and air conditioning. These were the cheapest options we could get. Some of the hotels, they offered free drinking water, and they even had the cold and the hot versions, so in the morning you could make coffees or tea for yourself, and that made it easier to have breakfast. A couple of times we were lucky enough to get free breakfast, which was basically some fried eggs, scrambled egg, wheat toast, rice. Yeah, Filipino people actually eat rice for breakfast. And I even got some pretty nice pancakes in one hotel in El Nido. All the prices are for 2 people, and I'm gonna say in euro and in pesos. First of all, you're gonna need a flight. We were traveling from Europe, from Vienna to the Philippines. That meant 600 euros one-way ticket for 2 people. So don't freak out, this is probably the highest cost you're gonna spend on the holiday. The flight tickets are very expensive, and we even got a pretty good deal with Saudi Airlines. So the visa is completely free. You don't have to pay any pesos for it, you just have to fill in the immigration papers and they stamp your passport. So the first cost we had in the Philippines was a SIM card, because we needed some internet. If you rely on the Wi-Fi's in the Philippines, you're just gonna be disconnected for your holiday. We bought 24 GB mobile data for 30 days, and this was 1,500 pesos, which is 27 euro at the moment. Then we spent 2 nights in Manila. The hotel name was Hopi in Ermita. We spent for the 2 nights 3,188 pesos. Probably this was the most expensive accommodation we spent on, but in Manila it was really important to stay in a safe place. After spending 2 nights in Manila, we took a flight from Manila to Puerto Princesa, which was, for the both of us, it was 2,480 pesos. You can even get cheaper, but we haven't booked it in advance. We booked like a month before. So then, from Puerto Princesa, you're gonna need to take a van to El Nido. It's gonna last about 5 to 6 hours. It's probably the less comfortable thing you can travel in. It costed for both of us 1,000 pesos. Then, accommodation in El Nido. It was for 3 nights, 2,700 pesos. This is the only accommodation I booked at home, because I didn't know if they're gonna be completely sold out. El Nido is very popular nowadays, so just to make sure, I booked my accommodation there. The next cost we had was 2 snorkeling equipment. We got it from the local market, and it was 1,200 pesos. It was cheaper to buy the snorkeling equipment and carry with us than rent at every single spot we wanted to do snorkeling. So the next thing is an island hopping tour in El Nido, which was a private tour. This was a little bit out of our budget. So it was 6,000 pesos without food, but it included the entrance fee in Big Lagoon and also the environmental fee you had to pay in El Nido. Okay, a private tour doesn't sound something like a budget trip. I know, but hear me out. I wanted to see some places from Tour E and Tour B. Both tours has must-see places, like the Tour E had the Big Lagoon and the Tour B had Antalula Island and the Snake Island I really wanted to see. If we do a public tour, we spend 2 days with the tour and 5,000 pesos to do both tours, and we are with at least 20 people more. Instead of this, we hired a private boat. It was 6,000 pesos. We could go wherever we wanted, including the Big Lagoon and mixing all the tours, and it was just 1,000 pesos more expensive. I haven't even considered to do the public tour because for me it was more important to do this private tour than eat one day in a nice restaurant or stay in fancy places. So if I would need to choose that I stay at fancier places with a pool and maybe a little bit cleaner bathroom, or I do the private island hopping in El Nido, I would definitely choose the island hopping. Then from El Nido we had to go to Coron Island. The cheapest way, there is basically no other way, is a ferry. Every day there are 2 ferries, they are all the same price. The cost of the ticket was 3,520 pesos. It was around 5 hours to get to Coron. When we arrived to Coron, we did another private island hopping. It was 4,000 pesos, everything included. From Coron, we went to Cebu Island. We took a flight with Cebu Pacific. It was 4,000 pesos. It was kind of expensive, but the ferry would take like 1 day to arrive. That's why we had to take the flight. We didn't have so much time. The next day, when we arrived to Cebu City, we stayed 1 night there, and we had to visit the Sirao Garden. If you haven't heard about this garden, this is very famous of really beautiful flowers and the statue which has a hand like this, and you can climb up on it and you can take nice photos. So even though the entrance fee was just 60 pesos each, we had to take a Grab to get to this garden, which is completely outside of Cebu. So we asked the Grab driver if he's gonna take us to the Sirao Garden, and he's gonna wait for us and he'll take us back. This costed 1,500 pesos, so that's why the total is 1,620 pesos we had to spend. On the same day, we took a bus from Cebu City to Malbol. This cost 250 pesos. The bus was not air conditioned, but the windows were open, so only until the bus didn't start we were totally sweating, but then once you're on the way it's kind of comfortable. So the next day we had a waterfall day. First of all, we visited the Cabastan Falls at sunrise. We spent there all the morning. The parking fee was 50 pesos and the entrance fee was 100 pesos. We didn't do the famous canyoneering, which would be 1,200 pesos per person. In the afternoon, we drove down to Cabutogan Falls. It was 700 peso in total, entrance fee, private guide, life jacket, everything. We spent an hour at the waterfall and we were climbing, jumping. We were basically canyoneering, but for a way cheaper price. Then, from Malbol, we had to go back to Cebu City because we unfortunately drowned our drone. So we were trying to find someone who could fix it. The bus back was 310 pesos. It was a little bit more expensive because it had air conditioning. From Cebu City, we went down to Oslo. It was another bus ride for 400 pesos. It was also air conditioned. Then the next morning we wanted to swim with whale sharks. It's an excursion in Oslo. It's not the most ethical thing because they feed the animals to be there, but it was amazing to see so giant animals and swim with them. It costed us 2,400 pesos. The excursion would cost 2,000, but you also need transport to get there. We took a tuk-tuk and that was 400 extra. Then from Cebu we went to the island of Siquijor. The ferry was very cheap, it was 400 pesos for the two of us, and it was a direct ferry. I even had a lot of space to spread out and I could sleep in the 1.5-hour ride. After staying 2 days in Siquijor, we went to the island of Bohol. It was another ferry ride, it was slightly more expensive, it costed 1,525 pesos. The price includes luggage fee and the terminal fee also. The terminal fee is mostly 20 pesos each, and the luggage was not included, only you could take a small item with you and you had to pay for any extra stuff you had. In Bohol, one of our expensive excursions we took was another waterfall. It's called the Inkumhan Fall. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. So I'm just gonna write it down here. This waterfall I found on the internet after a lot of research. We went there and then we met two local guides. They showed us where is the waterfall, and we realized that there was not only one waterfall. So they said that come back tomorrow in the morning and we're gonna take you to a hidden waterfall and to a twin waterfall, and they haven't even said the price of it. They said it's donation, it's up to you how much you pay for them. So we paid 500 pesos in total, and we had an all-day adventure with locals. We jumped off 10 meters from a waterfall. This was probably the craziest thing I did all in the vacation. So that was basically the only expense we had in Bohol. Then, from Bohol we had to go back to Cebu City to take the flight that costed us 1,140 pesos. The ferry with luggage and the terminal fees included. Then we fly out from Mactan Cebu International Airport. We went to Bangkok, and then we stayed 1 week in Bangkok, and then from Bangkok to Stockholm. The flight costed us 520 euros. It wasn't with Norwegian Airlines, it was very reasonably priced. On average, we spent 43 euros per day. This includes food, drinks, transportation I haven't mentioned, all the tuk-tuk rides, the airport transfers, motorbike rentals, the laundry and the accommodation, except El Nido and Manila, which I already mentioned. So, here comes the summary. All our costs in 3 weeks were 2,711 euros for the two of us. That means that we spent 1,355 euros per person. It was for 3 weeks, it was countless adventure and a lot of memories. Our cost without the international flight would be 1,591 together. You can have a look at the prices from your country on Skyscanner and just add it to this number. If you're gonna travel to Southeast Asia, you're gonna need a good travel insurance. I haven't included this in the budget because it depends which country you're in. The prices differ from every country, how old are you and everything. Finally, I would like to give you some price ranges, what you have to expect, what was in the 43 euros per day. For the budget accommodation, you should expect to pay between 700 and 1,200 pesos per night. Motorbike rentals are between 350 and 550 pesos, but if they go higher than 500, they completely rent you already. 500 pesos is the highest you should pay. Then fuel is 50 pesos for 1 liter, so expect to pay like 100 pesos per day extra if you are traveling a lot with your motorbike. Dry cleaning on every place was between 150 and 200 pesos. You get back your clothes all washed, dried and folded. Dinner in a Filipino-style restaurant eating local food is around 300-500 pesos for 2 people. Dinner in an Occidental restaurant, like eating pizza, burger, is between 500 and 1000 pesos. 2 local beers in a 7-Eleven or in any kind of shop is around 80 pesos. For mosquito spray, sun cream, after sun cream, expect to pay between 200 and 400 pesos. Most entrance fees are between 50 and 100 pesos, just like the Chocolate Hills, Nakpam Beach, Panglao Beach. So that's it for today, guys. I hope I could encourage you to travel the Philippines, and now you see that the costs are not so scary as you would think at the first. So if you like my video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, and see you in the next video.